The gym buzzed with excitement. Proud families filled the seats, snapping photos and whispering about the future. It was a moment built on sacrifice, discipline, and honor. But none of them saw what was coming. In the second row, a man sat alone. Broad-shouldered, calm, dressed in a Marine's formal blues, he was the kind of presence that made people sit up a little straighter. His name was Sergeant Marcus Carter, and he wasn't here to be seen. He was here for his son, Jason, who stood just feet away in a polished Navy uniform, ready to receive his commission. Then it happened. Two security guards approached him. They didn't raise their voices, but the tension in their tone was impossible to miss. "Sir, we need you to leave," one of them said coldly. Marcus didn't move. His hands rested on his knees. His eyes stayed fixed on his son. He didn't even blink. The moment was sacred. He'd earned this seat. With every scar, every missed birthday, every mission that nearly took his life, this was the day he waited for. But the guards didn't see that. They just saw a black man in a Marine uniform who didn't look like he belonged. Around them, murmurs began. People turned. Some took out phones. Then the second guard reached out, ready to grab Marcus by the arm. That's when the air changed. From the back row, four men stood up in perfect unison. They didn't speak. They didn't rush. But their presence silenced the entire room. Dressed in civilian clothes, their posture screamed discipline. Their eyes were cold, locked on the guards like trained weapons. They were Navy SEALs, and this wasn't just a Marine they were protecting. This was one of their own. The tallest SEAL took one step forward. His voice was quiet, but it cut through the room like thunder. "Touch him, and you'll regret it." The guards froze. Even the noise from the crowd stopped. You could hear the hum of the overhead lights. For a second, time stood still. No one had moved. But the entire power dynamic had just shifted.
The SEAL stood like a wall, unshaken, unreadable. One of the guards hesitated, his hand still half raised, unsure whether to move forward or retreat. The tension could slice steel. One of them reached for his radio. The tallest SEAL took another step forward, his voice cold as steel. "Sergeant Carter has more battlefield experience than this entire room. I'd rethink what you're about to do." Silence fell. Then, from the stage, a voice cut through like a flame through fog. "He's my father." Jason's voice was calm but thunderous. His words slammed into the room like a battle cry. He wasn't just a Navy graduate anymore. He was a soldier defending his family's honor. Whispers surged through the audience like a tidal wave. Parents leaned in. Phones were lifted. Everyone knew this was no longer a graduation. This was a reckoning. Then came the final blow. The crowd parted as the base commander stormed down the aisle, eyes locked on the scene, face set like stone. His voice echoed across the walls, "Stand down." Now, the guards stiffened. The SEALs didn't move. The commander reached Marcus and paused. He extended a hand. "Sergeant Carter," he said, almost whispering now, "you don't just belong here, your presence is an honor. Your son's ceremony will not begin without you." A moment passed, then another. But Marcus didn't take the commander's hand. Not because he was bitter, but because the damage had already been done. He looked toward Jason, and in his son's eyes, he saw something deeper than pride, the same pain he had carried for decades. The pain of fighting for a country that still sometimes looked through you instead of at you. Then Jason moved. Slowly, deliberately. He walked across the stage, stopped in front of his father, and saluted him first. The crowd stopped breathing. The commander lowered his hand. The SEALs stood taller. And every single person in that gym understood something that no protocol, no policy, no training could teach. This wasn't about chain of command. This was about respect. When the ceremony resumed, Marcus sat front and center. The guards had vanished. Jason stepped forward to receive his diploma, and behind him stood the same four SEALs, not speaking, not smiling, just standing watch. Because some battles are fought with bullets, but the ones that matter most are fought with loyalty. And no one, absolutely no one, messes with a Marine's family. Not on their watch.